Hello and welcome. It is the 12th day of July 2019. It is a Friday. My name is Derek and welcome to the Money Chart channel where all bets, trades of the like within each his own risk and their own reward. Looking at the 15-minute time frame, really stuck in between these two fib lines of 11.2 and 12.2 and at 11.6 or 11,625 and a complete major sideways move after this rally at 3 o'clock in the morning when it broke by this level of resistance and not like it was far to get to. It got by this level of key areas. It supported it, even a little above it, and is resisting back where it was before it had that fall. So markets go up, markets go down. And viewing such amongst the single-hour term time frame, this lower end area here, which has been fantastic support on three different occasions, one, two, and then again here three. But this is the first time it's managed to get above the 18 average of highs, and the sideways move is a mere fact of just sideways moving above this 18 average and holding and staying above an area. That's something I've said so many times. Okay, if it gets above, I like to see it hold and stay above it for a significant period of time, and that's what that would look like. Now that it's done that, and we'll see how it goes from this point on, it really gives me the likelihood that it could either A, get above this resistance, or if it has just a little bit of a pullback, it would find some support in here and probably have a fast lift-off support, meaning a V-shaped move, if, of course, it's to go to the 18 average of lows. But it's an attempt to revert what has been this downtrend since a couple days ago. July the 10th is when this topped at 13,000, of course, falling $2,000. And now we take a look at this on a 3 hour term time frame. I'm like, you know what? Way too many lines here, but they've been doing good. I want to change up this to the Coinbase exchange. Really, for what it's worth, this is just a mere sideways range now. And there's a few layers of resistance and support. The biggest support range area right now is really around this line. It appears below the 11,224 with a once hit area at 98.30. And then we have really this barrier of these a couple this in betweening in here, so a bit below this and a bit above this line. So resistance. Oh, where are you at? I'm gonna have to go. Just really, this little area here is just no. I don't know. I can't give any amazing levels, but the upper area is where the key points has got to get above. And I guess you could say, I guess roughly around 5,000 would be this little area in here. But again, I want to take off, reduce some of these lines. Let's put the Coinbase market on, which now I got less of them. And these, of course, Fibonacci. Last Fibonacci were very short-term numbers from the high up here and the low of 3,000. This is from the same low of 3,000, but the high of 20,000. And there we can see more. That's that sideways consolidation, really within this range. There's the upper and lower ends. Well, let's just put it this way. I meant to try to go those higher and lower numbers in here. This little area is the like the medium low end, breaking down below there. Yeah, you're entering the lower part. It's only going to be a second test. And breaking out above here, you're going to be entering this failed breakout, a test area. And really, it was just a short area here. So it's the less active part of the range, and the area it has to break either to the upside or the downside. When looking at this sideways range even further, this is in here, seeing the 18. Well, it started to go down, started to go up, now starting to go sideways, doing what sideways choppy markets end up doing. And again, until you have a break of either one, it's just going to be, to me, stuck in this sideways choppy action. It means less videos on the subject because I'm just going to be waiting for the action to do what it needs to do. I realize it could be short, it could be slow, and it can be something in between. On the daily term time frame, one of the things I'm looking at is for momentum, and right now it hasn't dead yet. It's attempting, bears that is, to at first and the upward momentum, which is really the case of stage number one, band flattening out. It hasn't really done that yet, but if we don't have any upward momentum like today into tomorrow, it will do that. And then after that, is it able to establish a level of support below the 18? And I don't count this because it's just too small of a move in that three little bears analogy, where a move has to be like their porridge or whatever, just too hot, too cold, just right, or whatever stuff like that. For the move, I don't want it too small. I don't want it too large, even though it is what it is. But for me to determine an average of established resistance, or for me to say the market is attempting to bring it down, it has to do more than a move down below that. With that said, because the 18 is here, if it goes down to that level now, yeah, that would be, of course, a decent enough break below the 18. And continuing on the long-term, 3-day term time frame has just a continuous uptrend. It's solidly above the 18. We'll see if it's able to lift off from it here, because in an attempt to lift from the 18 here on July the 3rd, and not too successful, but it's still correcting this amazing trend in here. It still can hold it can still come down to the previous low at 98 and retest the 18 lows, and that would just, well, as I was mentioning, the daily trying to end the momentum, that would just start to end that momentum there. If that was the case on the weekly term time frame, well extended above, but we're just having continuation pause and sideways movements along this, which will give time for the 18 average, of course, to meet up with it if it's enduring that of a sideways correction. And on the monthly chart, just more of this holding and staying above. And I'm going to finish this off with just a very quick bit of ratio trading, because today wasn't able to get both trades that I was looking to accomplish. I had one of them. The one that I did was Komodo against Litecoin. I ended up selling this, just a bit of it, a portion of it. On the 1 minute term time frame, it was not going down, I suppose. Where on the other hand, Litecoin was. And see, it was up here at 4 o'clock. It was even up here closer to when I went to bed, which is where I would have sold some Litecoin, and I ended up buying Komodo. So a flip back, getting a small amount of each coin, not always fun to do. And amongst this on the hour, Komodo and Litecoin, I sold this last night at 77.81. The high here is 77.96. It would have probably been around that time. But I can very easily overperform what this will say at times, because I'm always going to try to get the better price and try to play the bid-ask order book, do different things like that. And it's really, you're working on two trades. So at first, I end up selling, although I didn't use this exchange, I didn't use the Bitcoin exchange. I first sold Komodo for Ethereum on the Ethereum exchange, and then I bought Litecoin with Ethereum. And so, last night I sold. This morning here, 8 o'clock. So it was at 77. Once it goes down to 71, it was, or 78, I think. Yeah, 70. Either way. And in exact, it was 70.81 and 77.81. So I sold last night at 77.81, and I bought this morning back at 70.81. And if we take a look at that, let me just see if I overperformed what the market says here. Well, it wasn't trading here, that's for sure. 70.81. Yeah, I'm pretty much right in this lower end here. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to make a trade on my Gold Chain and Theta Cross. But if this breaks out, it most certainly will. I want to sell Gold Chain, even though it's just up here, 115, but it was down here. And then, of course, you're ratio trading this against Theta, which I'll show in a bit. But first I'm going to show this, then I'm going to show Theta, then I'm going to show these two together. And I want to sell this, and it's up, so it's 115. I want to get at least that. If I can get 116, 115, that's what I'm going to try to do oftentimes. I think, what can I pull off the 116, 115? I'll take a look at the order book. I haven't looked at it right now, but I can take a quick screenshot to show you what it looks like. And it's a meh kind of deal, because I see here there's 192,000 available to be and 243,000 there, so I could easily just take the price there. You could try to stick a seller in 150 and hope it gets to you. There's 2 million before there, so it's really hard to go for much more. You could always try to really putting numbers up in here in the 120s if that breaks out. But someone must have a decent size sell. It's only 2.6 Bitcoin. I've seen those come and go all the time. And as far as buying, it's somewhat spread out, but you could, there's all these lower numbers that could very easily come in. 114, 113. I really can't find a great advantage from one number over another. But sometimes you can look at the book. I'm like, oh my goodness, I can do this creatively, and it looks like I'm in a good advantage for it. When I say this, well, what does it tell you? And then if it tells me what it can be, nothing of course there it was like, yeah, it's just easy to take market price 115 or 150. We can see it's recently came up to the 116 number, and of course that might be people picking away at that sell order. We have a decent sized volume here, but I mean it's 15-minute time frame. It's all mat whatever, but unable to sell right now. And I do need to sell it higher because I'm selling this against theta, and I want to get theta back. But theta just went up, albeit starting to retrace back lower, and that's all I'm going to need if it's a failed breakout. Because it was in here where I was doing my Komodo light trade, coin trade in here, 8 o'clock, 8:20 in the morning, all that stuff, and then all of a sudden this happens. So I'm looking, oh boy, okay. Well, now it went from like just barely able for it to be at a spot where I want to make a trade to now close to making a trade, meaning this has got to go down more or the other coin has got to go up more. Taking a look at the ratio of these two. Well, before we do that, let's just take a look at this coin and the 8-hour time frame. Still not able to exit this downtrend since the highs a month ago, and the highs then were 1800. And resisting the 18, resisting the 18, an attempt to get above it on the 1st of July. That obviously didn't succeed. Another small attempt here on July the 6th. And some interesting weird buying in here. And obviously, this is a failed breakout already now, given that it's just staying down below its lower area. It hasn't had a breakdown since then. But it needs to get above the 18 average right now. We can, just to get the exact, yeah, we'll get the number on here. The 18 average of highs is in at 1,019. And the ratio, you need 8 and zero point 0.3 go chain for 1 theta. But it was up here at this like number over 9. We can see here, looking at this on a shorter term time frame, 3-hour time frame. It did get up here. As far as my last few trades are concerned, I can show my spreadsheet. I don't mind showing it for the go chain trades. As it's just a play around, less stakes, have some fun kind of deal. I allocate 24,000 of my go to theta. I allocate about, right now it's 1,700. Those numbers go up and down based on the trades. So they'll automatically go up and down as these things get traded off. So the last trade was made 2 days ago where I ended up selling 205 theta for 1,845 go. And I have 5 sell orders that I've completed in a row from June 30th to July the 10th, and that's part of the game. And amongst it, 300, 260, 235, 196, 205, so on and so forth. And, well, the last ratio trade was 9, and we're looking before that at 829. And we can see it's down to 830. So I didn't get any of this upward move, but I did get up to this 9. So, I'd probably want a little bit lower than that. And as far as where we were, it doesn't really show it on here, that big price subtraction at 8 o'clock, with theta going up, but I'm really going to be looking to try to get, I don't know, what should I could probably try to wait out for a better price. But the risk reward for waiting for a better price is you get it, that's the reward. That means you get a better ratio flip. And the risk is you don't get the flip at all, and if I were to buy here, I could sell obviously when it goes back up to 9. But with the way I'm looking at this in here, the fact that it's still grinding that support level as it is, early part of the reversal, having the 18 come up here, showing weakness, I think I could probably opt for a good 30% or a 0.3 drop. Play for a move to like 809 or something and get a bit better of a trade. So for now, I'm just going to keep that on the watch list. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye bye.